Welcome back to Game 3. It's a Rugby 10s Invitational as the Middelburg Stormers will go up against the Serengeti Elephants. We've been treated to a phenomenal game just before this one, where the Western Province Invitational just got the edge over the Titans rugby team. Joining me in the commentary box, Susie Appleby. Susie, we've had a phenomenal start to finals day. I'm sure everybody now is settled in and ready for a storming day of rugby.
Absolutely. Gosh, it came thick and fast, didn't it? And that's kind of what TENS is all about. Let's really get stuck in. And, you know, you get towards the knockout stages and Charles, anything can happen, as we saw in that last game, swinging this way and that. So, yeah, super excited to get into this day.
Yeah, it's going to be a great day of rugby. We've got the under 13, 16 and under 18 girls, as well as the under 20 men, the women's division, of course, and then an all exciting mixed play that will feature the under 13 and under 16 girls. But now, Middelburg Stormers playing in that blue and red strip. They've got a scrum just on the 22 of the Elephants. They're opting to go same side. Lovely little flat pass as they use the space on the outside. Again, pace to burn as the number 21, Shanice Scaltz, gets the first score. That is clinical from the word go, Susie.
I really like that. It's a set-piece play, and it's very difficult to defend that scrum. And actually, the first receiver just got the ball and bounced to the outside of her defender. So she got to a weak shoulder. That puts indecision in the outside defender's mind. And that they only need a split-second opportunity, and that's exactly what they took. So just good preserving of space. It looks really simple, but it's, you know, it's just skills executed really well.
Yeah, Middelburg Stormers with a quick restart once again by the number 23, Bridget Kutsia, as the Elephants gather the restart. Nice shift through the hands now with a lot of numbers on the outside, but opting to step back inside. Breakdown still inside the half of the Elephants as they shift the ball through. Good cover defense by the Middelburg Stormers, but the advantage was issued for the high tackle as the Serengeti Elephants get the penalty. About 10 meters outside of their 22. They opt to go for the quick tap penalty now. Changing direction. Just keeping the defenders guessing with the old school basketball offload. And good meters being made in the trenches now with opting to go on that blind side. Seeing small space, but unfortunately running out of real estate. But good enterprise by the Serengeti Elephants, Susie. They can attack you from any part of the field.
Yeah, and they'll be, you know, they want you to get back on and up on the scoreboard as quickly as they can having it's conceded a try. So listen, little snipe down the short side doesn't quite come off, but it's really nice to see, like we talked about, the offloading potential, freeing their hands and just looking to keep that ball alive. Yeah,
it's about fearless approach on finals, though. You can't have any regrets as the Middelburg Stormers puts the ball through the middle on the boot. And a great gather by the number 21 with a wonderful offload to Jonisha Boyson. On day one, they arrived a little bit late, Susie, but now that are here, they're not just here to take part, they're here to take over.
Oh my gosh, they are not holding back, are they? And the height, the aerial skills, but I just like the mixing up of the play there. Little boot to ball, but your kick is as good as your inside support makes it, and she just got round, got on the ball, but they didn't die in that attack. They wanted to keep that ball alive, to get after the line break. And look, it pays dividends, doesn't it? You know, they're in under the sticks, and a really important score, and you'll probably think that Elephant's going to be a bit deflated by that, having put some good phases of possession together.
Yeah, Middelburg Stormers now take a healthy lead by 12 points to 0 as we look at those beautiful visuals, seeing the different franchises with the fans. In shot there, the St. Clemente Rhinos played earlier in their first match. Unfortunately, weren't successful, but great to see the local fans coming in their numbers to come and support the next generation of talent. And we've been treated to some great support, Susie. The Strand, Heidelberg region really coming out to support the Rugby 10s Invitational.
Yeah, it's buzzing, isn't it? You know, I walked in here at 8 o'clock and everyone's flooding into the car parks and they're very excited. Everyone's had a really nice long weekend, but they want more rugby, which is what we all want to see, isn't it, Charles?
Absolutely. As the Middelburg Stormers restarts things. A little bit of messy collection by the Elephants. And as much as the set piece is so important, you also got to really work hard on the way you receive kickoffs, Susie.
Yeah. Well, the restart is a set piece, really, isn't it? You can look at it. There's so many of them, and they're so important because they could have given themselves an opportunity to get back on the ball, which indeed they have. You know, it's pressure time, isn't it, for the Elephants trying to escape from here? So the Stormers will be really pleased with the amount of distance they've made up the field.
Yeah, Kristen Ellis didn't find the jumpers on that occasion. The Middelburg Stormers again on the rampage, finding the last pass, but the Elephants looking to run out of their own 22, jinking and weaving, trying to find the hole in the space. Good cut-out pass. Now some numbers on the outside and some space. And again, the desperation of the Middelburg Stormers defense catching up. And it's been so good to see about chasing these lost causes, not giving up, not just thinking it's a clear-cut chance. And that is just the character of these players, Susie, and their ability to really work hard for each other.
It was so nice to see a little bit of footwork, which basically puts indecision in those defenders' minds. So she wrong-footed about 4 defenders, but then had the foresight and the vision to let the ball go and move to the outside. Just a little spillage on the outside and probably a little bit forced, but yeah, really positive progress.
Yeah, Zania Miller, number 9 of this Middelburg Stormers, she is the cornerstone of the attack and just always looking for questions on the attack as they again shift the ball. And a good cover defense by the Elephant. Just a little bit lateral there, Susie. You got to still earn the right to go wide, and obviously we've seen them being successful, but you got to build your innings.
Yeah, they just kind of, it was easy for the defence to drift on that occasion, wasn't it? Didn't quite turn their hips enough, and then, you know, potentially you just got to look back or get away from the touchline and use that 5-metre line to just drive your way back inside.
Yeah, scrappy little line out for the Elephants. The race says the ball did go backwards as they will restart this line out just outside of their own 22. And the Elephants, of course, have got a big pack of forwards, but also got some nippy backs as well, as Kristen Ellis just managed to find the jumpers, but at the moment, again, very stagnant on attack, but opting to break through the tackle as they burst through once again. And the Elephants now firmly over the advantage line. They've got some numbers now on the outside. And a strong warning run by Tyrell Wilson, releasing the play on the outside, but the ref says the ball was lost forward. Through that scrambling defense, the Middelburg Stormers were deemed to be offside as they look to restart play. Good passing contact. And found by Lotte Marke. We've been mentioning her name quite a few times on day 1. Now change direction, opting to go route 1. Again, firmly getting over the advantage line. Shifting the contact point now as they let the ball do the work. And again, a barnstorming run through the middle, opting to go same side now. Little cutout pass, but not finding hands. And the Elephants at the moment showing some real glimpses of what they can do, but just again that last pass, just maybe a lapse of concentration, Susie.
Yeah, they're making huge progress up the field. What I like is the, you know, forwards are happy to step in at first receiver, throw little miss passes, you know, show and go, little short balls, and it's just, you know, it's just brilliant to see. They're clearly coached really well, and they're making endeavours to get up the field. But like you said, they're just a little bit of force in that last pass.
Yeah, good line out found by the Serengeti Elephants. Kristen Ellis has been so crucial in that, as Tyrell Wilson, the danger woman, so much pace in her legs. As they set up the breakdown inside the 22 of the Middelburg Stormers. Now there's a real opportunity for them to get back into this match. A little bit of indecision, but they up with a Hail Mary offload, not finding the hands. And they'll be desperately disappointed, especially making all of those meters outside of their own 22. As the Middelburg Stormers looking to turn the fence into attack. Again, jinking and weaving their way. Good little break through the tackle. Good step inside by the number 23. That is Bridget Coetzee with some individual brilliance, and I've been so impressed by the character and determination, especially from this diminutive player. But it just shows again, in the rugby 10s format, Susie, there's a place for every shape and form.
Certainly is. How soul destroying for the Elephants. They were so patient in their attack. They were building pressure, but then one little mistake and that's all it takes, isn't it, Charles? And you know, they want to go end to end. Those Stormers, they want to get hands on ball and they do not hold back and they punish you, and that's exactly what's happened just on the stroke of half time.
Yeah, soul-killing score as the Middelburg Stormers take a healthy lead over the Serengeti Elephants by 19 points to 0. There will be a lot of halftime chat by Coach Marite Pinar on the Elephant side. And we'll go down pitch side to go and listen to what Coach Marite Pinar has to say to her Chargers. Stay tuned. We've got some more action coming up after this half.
Ons kan nie fokus op aanval. Die defense is net so belangrik, né? Mami, iemand moet 'n meisie kan smash wat so maak met die bal. En by jou gemaak so. As sy so maak, moet jy kyk vir wie gaan sy pas. Smash haar, want sy dra die bal, net ons op. Die bal dra met smash raak. En lig net vir my die intensiteit asseblief op die defense. En julle bondel wy. Mariana, baas die kan jy en Bridget, julle drie veral. Praat die defense en why afvoer. Nee? Want julle praat defense, ons speel op mekaar. Ons wil hulle nul hê, ons wil hulle nul hou. Ons margin is belangrik, né? Ember, pragtig tot dusver. Ek gaan nou Parka gaan nou afkom. Sommer in die begin. So skryf vinnig nie slinger. Parka gaan afkom. En dan gaan ander Parka opgaan. En dan gaan ons vir Wade nog 2 minute gee. Dan gaan sy op. So julle moet nou laat ons nou sommer vinnig leer.
Welcome back to the second half here at the Rugby 10s Invitational. It's currently the Middelburg Stormers that is 19 points ahead over the Serengeti Elephants. We saw the team talk, Susie, especially on the Elephant side. What do they need to do to get themselves back into this match?
Well, they've given themselves possession, Ajal, but they just can't quite execute that final pass. So they just need to be patient when they've got the ball. I know it sounds really straightforward, but it's true, isn't it? Yeah. And really around the breakdown area, they're a little bit loose. They need to tighten up that area to be able to generate quicker ball. But sadly, you know, that giving possession away really early to the Stormers is not going to get them back on the front foot.
Yeah, fundamentals of this game still so important. As the Middelburg Stormers again looking to try and see how they can break down this defense of the Elephant. Good little cut-out pass and some opportunity now here in the trenches for Shanice Scholz, one of the try scorers in the first half. And just running out of territory as the Elephants try to see if they can secure their line out just about 10 meters from the 22. You spoke about coaches and Johnny Pada in your screen there, the coach of the Middelburg Stormers, and such a passionate character as the Elephants look to shift the ball through the contact area. Again, good strong defense by the women in the blue and red strip, but done so illegally. Got a roll away from the tackle as the Elephant looks to speed up play. Again, the advantage issued with the Middelburg Stormers not retreating enough. And it's these kind of small little discipline elements that's you can get away with it now with your healthy lead, Susie. But when it comes to the business end, your discipline needs to be up there.
Absolutely, and the Elephants really need to capitalise on this. Yes, they're making their way up the field. They are chasing the game, but they don't need to panic. They've got 8.5 minutes, so as long as they maintain possession. Commentators curse, just giving it away again. However, I thought there was a knock on there, but yeah, if they maintain possession or get possession back, then they'll get themselves back in this.
Yeah, ball sits really up nicely through that cross kick, but again, brilliant cover defense by Lotte Marke of the Serengeti Elephants. And the Middelburg Stormers would be very disappointed as they really managed to get the counter-attack going. And it's about shifting the big forwards around. We know the Serengeti Elephants have got some big players, but equally also very, very talented and very nippy as well, as the ball goes over the top. Now Middelburg Stormers gets a turnover ball on the line out. Good little offload while in that breakdown, and a good step inside as well. Very nippy. That is the number 6. Jorisha Boyson. And she's also been very industrious, Susie. A young talent with a lot of pace, but also a lot of skill indeed.
Wow, Boyson's footwork there was unbelievable, Charlotte. It was so good. She just saw a 1v1 opportunity. She saw a turned hip. She saw herself with a weak shoulder to attack, and she went after it and she attacked. But what it came from was another turnover from the set piece, and you know, the Elephants just can't quite execute their set piece, and it's giving the Stormers an absolute huge amount of possession. But they capitalised on it, and they're in a healthy lead now, and I think they'll be feeling confident in the way that they're playing.
Yeah, confident indeed, coached by Johnny Padda. Such a passionate character as well, as we mentioned earlier, and really prides himself on the pace here. Now the Elephants with a breakaway through Shakina Isaacs. Offloading once again in the tackle. Now this is much better from the Elephants' attack. They've got to make sure they roll away. That is Bridget Kutsia on the Middelburg Stormers side. They've got some numbers as well, but again, just losing the ball. But you've got to do it legally, especially when you have your line speed on. And the ref runs out of patience as he issues the yellow card to the Middelburg Stormers. Now the Elephants opting to go same side, shifting the ball once again. And the number 13, Shantae Prince, using a space on the outside, leaving the defense of the Middelburg Stormers for dead. And a much-needed score, Susie, just to get the confidence back for the Serengeti Elephants team.
Yeah, absolutely critical that they scored on that occasion, and equally as importantly, she went to the sticks. So that should make it a 7-point rather than a 5-point. And when you're clawing your way back into the game, every point is crucial. So a brilliant bit of individual footwork on the outside, and she gets over the line. But as I said, 7 points rather than 5, and now they need to go after this and get possession back.
Yeah, the restart, as you mentioned, so crucial as the Middelburg Stormers lead still by 26 points to 7. There is a danger woman, Zenia Miller, have been really pulling the strings on day one for this Middelburg Stormers team. She opts to go same side. And a wonderful step in breaking through tackles now at the moment. Wadey at the Foss. And then Miller. Backward. A little bit of a loose pass, but they managed to gather it as the Elephants tried to apply some pressure on defense. Maybe the sensible option of kicking that ball through downfield, trying to find ground, and a kick is only as good as its chase. And strong pressure being applied by the Middelburg Stormers. Amber Oliver, the number 7, and unfortunately not supporting her body weight as the Elephants gets the penalty. You mentioned about them showing a lot of character, this Elephants team, and at the moment not on the right side of the scoreboard, but they have shown that they can go toe-to-toe with this Middelburg Stormers team, Susie.
Well, they've certainly got a never say die attitude, haven't they? Weary, not surprisingly. It's been a tough old 15, 16 minutes for them, but now is when you need to maintain composure, especially when you're on the ball, and that energy to be able to shift defense into attack into defense to make sure you stay in the game. But, you know, Stormers are not relenting. Yes, they're not as relentless, if you like, as they were in the first half, but they've got big, strong carriers. They're breaking tackles, and the post-contact meters, Charles, is the really important thing. They're taking in a few defenders at a time, and their rec speed is quick. So it's very, very difficult for the Elephants to then get back on their feet, have numbers in that defensive line, which is why they're being busted.
Yeah, it's the small things that makes the biggest of difference, and a good, strong scrum by the Middelburg Stormers. Going around the tilt as the ref calls for the restart. And we've mentioned a few names on this Middelburg Stormers team. Jorentia Boyson, number 6. Slow Influential, as well as number 21, Shanice Scholz. And number 7, Amber Oliver, has also been industrious. But one of the key players in this team is that woman who just feed the scrum, Xenia Miller, coming around for the loop. His ball went backwards as they still have the opportunity now. Good pace shown on the outside shoulder. We've spoken about her, number 21, Shanice Scholz, scoring her second try of the match, showing a clean pair of heels. And if you've got enough pace and enough skill, there's not a lot of defenses that can stop this woman. Clinical indeed, Susie.
Oh, just that. It's the starter play, isn't it? It's from a right-hand scrum, massive opportunity, but it's the little wraparound, it's the indecision, it's the deception on the ball, but most importantly, it's taking it to the line. So that's where the deception comes. But the defenders just bite in at that key moment, which enables that gas merchant. She's so good, isn't she? So pacey, and that's probably the nail in the coffin that sadly the Elephants didn't want. But as we talked about, you know, the Stormers are just taking every opportunity, and they're really punishing, aren't they?
They certainly are doing so, as have a healthy 31 points to lead over the Elephants. Only's got 7 points on the board. Just less than 1.5 minutes in this second half. We'll try to see if they can get some sort of reward for their industrious play. And now they've got a chance on the outside, using the ball through the hands. And a good step inside, but again, the cover defense of this Middelburg Stormers team has been so impressive as they changed direction now on attack. A little bit of a loose pass, as the ref says, the advantage now to the Stormers team. At the moment, the breakdown has been a little bit of a challenge for these Elephants. They would really want to sharpen on that as this tournament progresses, but a lot of ding-dong battles at the moment as the ref issues the scrum to the Middelburg Stormers. And Susie, you are such an established coach, and this Elephants team possesses a lot of talent, and also coached by a very, very good former player, Marate Pinar. It's just about probably just settling into your combinations, trusting the player on the outside, but also keeping things simple, because they've got such amazing wealth of talent.
Yeah, they do, and it's just, you know, all these minutes that they're playing are so invaluable, because you know, you just learn so much, especially in a shortened game like 10s, where it's so quick and fast. And you know, if you have the luxury of looking back at the footage, then they'll certainly be learning from this. But you know, this is one game. The next game can be completely different, but it's the most important thing is playing to your strengths, mixing up. Really nice toe to ball there, but just again, the pace of the Stormers has probably just been the differentiation on this occasion, as well as we said, the efficiency around that ruck area, and a strong performance from the Stormers. But Elephants 100% played their part, and it was competitive. And back to the learning, I think both teams will have enjoyed that, and they'll learn and take it into the next performance.
Absolutely. There you heard it from Susie Appleby, as the Middelburg Stormers are crowned victorious.